So today you're going to draw a picture from your window. You may have things on the windowsill, you may do it in colour, you may do it in pencil. So this is the view from my desk, kitchen table where I'm working on Seesaw, and the first thing to do is make sure you have a nice sharp pencil. Find the centre of your window and make sure you know what that is in the distance, and draw onto your piece of paper your window frame. If you're going to put your windowsill on, then do that now. You can use your pencil to measure objects in the distance. So hold your arm out straight with the pencil in front of you, and then you can take the measurement from the building and then put that straight onto the paper. And that's a really good way of starting off in the distance, mapping out where all the buildings are, maybe telephone lines, trees. And you can use your pencil as well to work out just how much of an angle things are on. So how much of an angle a roof is or a tree is. Once you've sketched out where most of the objects are, then you're going to start putting in your textures and lines. So in the distance we have a school which has got wooden cladding on the outside, so I'm putting that on. Make sure you use both a soft pencil and a hard pencil. So you can get different pencils, some that are lighter than others. I've only got one, so I'm going to have to push harder if I want it to be dark and lighter if I want it to be lighter. And remember that there might be things in the foreground, so we've got trees in the foreground, so I've got to put that tree over the top of the roof of the garage next door, and that's also going up into the sky. If you do branches, if you just soften off the corners, that works really well. You might have sharp lines like on these tropical plants. If you want to use colours, just like with the black and white, you're going to need to use different shades. So you can't just use one green, you're going to have to use a few different greens and mix them together, blending them together so it's not obvious, and colouring in every single bit of the page. You don't want to see any white if you're going to use colours. But also still use textures. So you might use hatching, where you do crosses on the page. You might draw dark lines, soft lines, thick lines, thin lines. You might do pointillism. So for this holly tree, I'm doing dots with the pen. Now felt tips are really tricky to use. It's a bit like using paint. It's really bold, bright colours, so you're going to have to be bold and bright with your drawing. The last photo at the end of this clip is a Matisse, and he uses really vibrant paint. So if you're going to use felt tips, really go for it. Make it really bold and strong. Still use textures. So on this palm, I've done lots of little grey hairs on the trunk, but then I'm using yellows and I'm using purples as well to brighten it up. On the background I've used pencil just to shade it in. So that's the view and that's the finished piece. So I've done felt tip, pencil and crayon to show you the differences. Don't forget, you're going to use texture, different thicknesses of lines, hatching, and making sure that you put as much description, really, as much detail in the picture as possible. Once you finish that, then you can start your picture of a view out into your theme. So it could be the Caribbean, it could be Egypt, it could be Africa. It's up to you. Good luck.